أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. The topic for today is guidance, a mercy from Allah. Long ago, before anything was ever created, it was complete darkness. There was no earth, no sky, no sun or moon. Then Allah decided to create this beautiful world, and all He said was kun, and there it was. By Him just saying the word be, the whole universe came into existence. Subhanallah, this beautiful creation of Allah, this entire universe, which is full of galaxies, planets, the sun, the moon and the stars, all knit together in a splendid system, each one following its own course, never outdoing the other, nor making the slightest deviation from its ordained path. Why? There's never a time we see the sun not rising in the morning, or the earth deciding to take a nap and not rotating or revolving. Instead, we see them all moving together in harmony, bringing peace and serenity into the fold of nature. This is all because nature follows the law of Allah, the unalterable law that its creator has set for it. It moves submittingly in accordance with Allah's plan for which it was created, praising and glorifying Him. Therefore, it is always in a state of peace and harmony. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the plants and animals, again all of whom submitted to His will, doing their duty towards Allah as He had planned for them, and praised and glorified Him. But still, Allah wanted to create something more special, something different, and this He announced to His angels in heaven. Allah says, Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. Verily, I am going to place my vicegerent on earth. And to this the angels ask Allah, will you place therein those who will make mischief and shed blood, while we glorify you with praises and thanks? And all that Allah says to this is, Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. I know that which you do not. And who was this Khalifa, this vicegerent that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was so confidently talking about? Yes, it was none other than man, who Allah calls Ashraful Makhluqat, the best of creation, the creation that Allah was so proud of, and in front of whom He asked the angels to bow. But why did Allah single out this creation among all His other creations as being the best? This was because He endowed man with reason and intellect. Unlike all His other creations, which simply followed His law, man was given a mind and a free will, which empowered him to think and form judgment, to choose and reject, and to adopt whatever course of life he wished. So then, was this Khalifa of Allah, this vicegerent, created and then left on his own to follow his own course of life in accordance with his own capacity and understanding, while the rest of creation followed Allah's law? In other words, wasn't man, unlike the rest of creation, guided in order to lead a peaceful life and to be in harmony? What could be Allah's plan in creating him with a free will and giving him a mind? What was the purpose of this highly esteemed creation? Regarding His creation of man, Allah states clearly in the Quran, in Surah Dariyah, when He says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. And I created not the jinn and mankind, except that they should worship me. Jinn apparently being another creation of Allah endowed with free will. Yes, so Allah says regarding man, that He has not created the jinn and man, except to worship Him. And how are we to worship Allah? Create an idol and stand in front, or attain celibacy or monasticism, or stand on the prayer mat from morn to night? Islam is a way of life. So in Islam, worship literally means doing every act of our daily lives the way Allah wants us to. That is the way we eat, sleep, talk, maintain relationships, etc. Thus, for us to understand the purpose of our creation and know how to live our lives and worship our Creator in the best possible manner, Allah most merciful sent down for us the divine revelation, His last and final book of guidance, the glorious Quran, through His last and final messenger, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Allah states clearly therein, وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِي غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. And whosoever seeks a religion other than Islam, it will never be accepted of him, and in the hereafter he will be one of the losers. This Quran is Allah's promise to Adam and his descendants, as Allah says in it, "There shall come to you guidance from me, and whosoever follows my guidance, no fear shall be on them, neither shall they grieve." So, though Allah created man with a mind and a free will, the path which Allah wished him to adopt was distinctly laid down for him. But now, the question is, why does man need any kind of guidance? Why does he need to adopt and live life in a way prescribed by a revealed book when he has a mind of his own and the capacity to think and form judgment? Isn't this good enough to help him live his life sensibly with reason and logic? Here, let's take the example of a washing machine. Supposing I go to the supermarket to buy a washing machine, the first thing which will be given to me along with the machine is a manual prepared by the manufacturer on how to operate it. Now, supposing I decide to do away with the manual and run the machine according to my understanding and logic, what would be the obvious result? A broken down machine or something of the sort? Similarly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, being our manufacturer, would definitely know best as to how we are to operate our lives to get the best result and to attain peace and harmony in our lives. So what makes us deny this obvious fact? Why doesn't our highly sophisticated mind with super sophisticated cognitive abilities recognize and accept this? Why are we so obdurate and unyielding to the divine truth? These are questions we definitely have to ask ourselves and perhaps find the answers for. For guidance is definitely a mercy from our Creator, who besides giving us everything in abundance, has also sent for us a way which will help us find peace and happiness. And if we fail to understand this and turn away, then the very purpose of us being here as Allah's creation is forfeited, and we are definite losers. And yes, though Allah has sent us down guidance, we are under no compulsion to follow it, as Allah clearly mentions in the Quran, فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. Then whosoever wills, let him believe, and whosoever wills, let him disbelieve. This is where man's free will comes to play, and it is based on this that he will be judged in the hereafter. But no matter how much we deny the truth or turn away from it, we are ourselves aware, as well as witnesses and victims to the anarchy caused by the minds of men, each one following his own course, falling prey to wrong desires, living unrighteous, dishonest and dishonorable lives. This has perhaps become a way of life with most, and Allah most wise knew well the follies and blasphemies His creation was capable of. Thus, out of His love and mercy for these creatures of His, He sent down the divine guidance. This Quran, we must remember and acknowledge that it is the greatest blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on us. It is beyond the power of man to comprehend the greatness and importance of what the Quran holds for him, as Allah describes regarding it. O men, there has come to you guidance and exhortation from your Lord, healing for what is in the hearts, and a guidance and a mercy for believers. Say in it, let them rejoice. It is better than whatever they amass. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us along the straight path. And once He has guided us, let Him help us stay firm. Wa akhru dawana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.